So welcome everyone to our South Africa's Travel Ready Tourism Tuesday. We are tackling the topic of I am tourism today. So I think if you work in the tourism and the travel industry and you haven't seen the hashtag I am tourism in the last 2 weeks, you've been hiding under a rock or you've been on a digital detox. I hope that it's been a digital detox because I would have loved one of those myself. So our fantastic South Africa's Travel Ready PR and Media Collective have come up with this amazing campaign called I Am Tourism. And just to give you a bit of a background on why we went there was because it's Women's Month. So what better time to do anything around I Am Tourism than Women's Month? But also because we recognize that if the government's stated agenda priority is around inclusive growth of the economy through women and through youth, and you have an industry like ours that employs so many women and so many youth, surely this is the right message that we should be saying to government. We are an industry that employs women, we are an industry that employs youth. You need to give us a seat at the table, and you need to give women a seat at the tourism table. So out came I Am Tourism, and you will see on your screen here the hashtag I Am Tourism is being used everywhere. In fact, I was so grateful today to see the Londolozi Jerusalem Challenge had a slide at the end that said I Am Tourism. So people are getting behind it in a great way, and I think the industry is getting behind it in a great way. And we see all these lovely women on our screen now getting behind it in a great way that hopefully it transcends this COVID scenario to post-COVID, because it's a message that has legs beyond a pandemic. I am tourism, you are tourism, Mary is tourism, Michelle is tourism, Leslie is tourism, Giselle is tourism. We are all tourism. We all work in tourism. So, Les, over to you.
Right. I think as Natalia says, it's good to be reminded as well, just, sort of how strong women are in our tourism industry. I mean, 70% of the workforce are tourism. So what better than to sort of target the month of August being Women's Month, and especially the 9th as Women's Day. So, that's how really the campaign all started. It's all part and parcel still of the bigger picture of South Africa is travel ready. But it really is, as Natalia says, it's to give the woman in tourism a voice. How we can really instill that pride amongst women. And in fact, I was listening last night again to some of the interviews that Natalia has been doing, and she's touched on them now, and she's going to, I think, give you a little bit more insight. But it's that special message that we get. And I think that's what we can all be proud about. So I'm not excluding the men, and I know there are some men listening into us as well. But, that I think the message I got last night is very much about tourism is hope. Okay, so that's my introduction as well. I'm going to hand back to Natalia now.
Thanks, Les. Yes, so at the heart of our I Am Tourism campaign are these 31 stories of women who work in travel and tourism. So we are conducting 31 interviews with women from all walks of life. And you see Mpho Tsotsetsi here. She worked at a DMC in Cape Town. She was retrenched. She spent her first month in absolute hibernation because she didn't want to face the world. And she's now realized that she needs to stand up and give women a voice. So she was a wonderful first interview for me, very inspiring woman to listen to. And she's number one in 31 women who we are interviewing this month, from the curio seller to the tourist guide in Langa, who I interviewed earlier today, to the guest house manager in Limpopo, to the travel agent, to the air hostess, to the owner of the small tourism business that's trying to put food on the table for her staff and for the women I spoke to today for the Safe House for Children. These are all women who have a story, but more than that, the stories are not coming from a disempowering perspective. All these women I've spoken to, no matter where they are in their story, no matter what's gone on with their career or now lack of career because we've been in lockdown, every single one of these women have been inspiring in their own way, hopeful in their own way, and they've reminded me how powerful we as women can be in the tourism and travel industry if we stop apologizing for having a voice. So if nothing else, at the core of this campaign are these 31 I Am Tourism stories, which we are putting together as YouTube video interviews that are shipped up to YouTube. They each have a blog post on our traveltosouthafrica.org website, and we have created social media assets that are available in the toolkit that you as the travel and tourism industry can go to, download, and use on your own social media platforms. Get this I Am Tourism message out. Tell this story that these women have shared with you, or share the story that these women have shared with you on your own platforms. We have had some of these women interviewed in media as well, and will continue to do that. And they speak on behalf of the women in tourism. So each one of these women have an amazing story to tell. And if you haven't had an opportunity to go and have a look at the traveltosouthafrica.org website, just hop onto the homepage and you'll see in the banner, there's a section that says Women in Tourism. And if you click on Women in Tourism, you'll go in and you'll see all of the different stories that we have of the women that we are interviewing. We have Mpho, who is a DMC consultant. We had Cindy Busa, who owned her own DMC, but now has unfortunately had to pivot her business into a food business, because that's where she's able to sustain her family as a single mother. Her husband passed away a few years ago, and she has 2 children she needs to support. We have Megan Beddingham, who is the owner of the Cavern in Drakensberg, and she talks about the early childhood development centers that she's trying to keep running despite all of the stuff going on. So beyond each of these women and their families is a whole other layer of people, communities that they support, and they deserve, their voices deserve to be heard. We have a responsibility as women in the tourism and travel industry to amplify their voices across whatever platform we have available to us, whether it's our own personal social media, or whether it's our company social media, or it's a newsletter. That is our responsibility. And separate to that, you will have seen all of these photographs, and I mean, look at them. They're just so amazing. The woman at the top with her I Am Tourism banner, you can see she's smiling behind her mask. We've had a few men try and sneak their I Am Tourism photographs in. That's okay. You're welcome. We still love you. But essentially the target is to get to 3,000 I Am Tourism photos by the 9th of August. We're quite a long way off. We're about 1,500 in, so we're halfway, which means I'm calling on you today to put a massive push out to your networks to please, please, please get us these fantastic pictures, these women holding these placards by the 9th of August, and to send that to iamtourism.za@gmail.com, iamtourism.za@gmail.com, and maybe either Gisela or Chelsea, if you'll pop that into the chat for us, I'd really, really appreciate it, so that people have got it. iamtourism.za@gmail.com. Les, did I steal your slide?
You did, but that's fine. You're doing very well.
Sorry, I just realized halfway through. Hang on, wasn't Les supposed to talk about the social media? Anyway, it's fine. If you haven't done your placard, and if you haven't told other women to hold their placard, please do so as a matter of urgency, because we'd really love to hit that 3,000. I'm actually going to just stop sharing my screen for a second and show you what it looks like at the moment on the website with all of the images, if I can. Hang on a sec and show. I'm going a little bit off piste here, forgive me. Share screen. Right, And so here's the website with the women in tourism interviews. You can see there's Mega and Cindy. Pumla's today. So Pumla's also a single mom. She used to live in Cape Town. She now has had to go back to the Eastern Cape. She's supporting a child, and through tourism, she managed to put her child in a really, really good school. So for her, it's very important that her child has an amazing education, and tourism is the reason why she was able to afford that. So she's also got an amazing story. But if you click on I Am Tourism there at the top of the Travel to South Africa website, let's just, come on. Here we go. Check it out. All these wonderful women. Isn't that amazing?
It's lovely. Brilliant.
It is amazing. It is amazing. So we want 3,000 of these. Please, 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 please send us your I Am Tourism images so that we have a very impressive wall to share. Okay, let's go back to our PowerPoint sharing. Right, play from current slide. Okay. So over and above this, it's all great doing stuff on social media, having toolkits for our travel and tourism industry, talking about these women and their amazing stories, but we also need to get some attention in media. And actually, in the last couple of days, there's been a lot more media interest than I actually even expected would happen. But it's because this media and PR collective has such strong media links that they are able to organize interviews. They're able to get opinion pieces written in the Daily Mavericks, in the Business Days, about tourism, the importance of tourism. And yes, we're not just palm trees and pina coladas, but we actually do support 1.5 million jobs directly and indirectly. So maybe you should pay a little bit of attention to us and give us a chance to show you that we can operate safely. But also the stories of these women. So the Sunday Times has interviewed 3 of the women who have been affected for an article. We're working with Cliff Central to do a webinar. We are working with Carte Blanche to get a story out around women. And we have some great networking that's happening with women who are powerful in government, in business, in civil society, and them getting their voices behind this cause. So writing op-eds, leveraging their networks, whispering in the corridors of power to help us reopen tourism. So these media interviews, panel discussions, and articles talk about tourism in the economy because we're just not being taken seriously enough. The extent to which women play a role in the economy, the 70% number of tourism workforce, how women can and should get more involved in driving tourism, inspiring women to take their seat at the table, stop apologizing, stop saying, sorry, I'm sorry, or can I? Just take your seat at the table, for goodness sake. And then giving a voice to the women in tourism who just didn't seem to have a voice.
Natalia, do you want to maybe also add about Thembi?
You can.
Oh,
okay. That's you. Go for it.
All right. To add to Natalia, you know, her explanation and descriptions, and, you know, I think also just with all these interviews, and really I do urge you to go and look at them because it does make us all sit up and just be very aware. But, you know, part of the PR collective, what we've been actually working on as well is, you know, it's a strong group of women at this point. And we do want a spokesperson overall, but what we've done, and we've identified somebody, we're busy talking there, but what we've also done, we've identified, and you're the first to know this now, she's officially accepted, is Thembi Kunene, who I think some of you will know. Thembi is going to represent us in terms of this Women's Month and I Am Tourism. So when Natalia was talking about, you know, interviews and, you know, opinion pieces, Thembi herself actually wrote an article just recently, a very nice article. It started a little bit, and I'm sure some of you read it, where, you know, we were all very shocked, I think, with, you know, the spraying of the water guns in Cape Town. and she was writing the article on Daily Maverick. But as I think you'll all know as well, she's now employed with Tourvest, and I think that's quite a new position for her. It's more in the mice market. So we're extremely excited because she's then going to be our spokesperson. So she'll be the person, we'll set up these interviews with a lot of the women's publications online, and it's a nice mixture of traditional and digital. So yes, so for those who know Thembi, I'm not sure if she's listening today, but we're delighted.
We are thrilled to have Thembi behind us and standing shoulder to shoulder. She's a powerhouse, a phenomenal woman. But so are you, and that's why you're here today, because we need your help. We need you to help us amplify the message with your own networks, because each of you are influential in your own communities, in your own wider networks. And I know each of you are highly persuasive individuals. I'm looking at Mary because I know Mary is highly persuasive. So we want you to go out and amplify our message. And what we've done is made it easy for you to do that by giving you a toolkit on our traveltoSouthAfrica.org website, which is updated on an ongoing basis, where you can download little social media posts for your own personal social media, but also your company social media, any network or group that you're involved in, to highlight the fact that South Africa is travel ready and that I Am Tourism. We're also hosting these Tourism Tuesday briefings to give you a good understanding of what it is that we're up to as a media and PR collective, and allow you the opportunity to give us feedback to see how you can lean in and help, or perhaps you have a suggestion that we haven't considered that we should be. So this is why these Tourism Tuesday evenings exist. Work through your associations. So if you are a member of an association, make sure that you are understanding what it is that they are doing and you are amplifying their messaging, because they sit under the Tourism Business Council quite often, not always, but any of these associations will be doing something. So get behind what they're doing, so that you are giving them strength as well. And then the trade publications themselves. We're working with Tourism Update, who have been so generous to us by giving us banners on the website, by using our interviews. Travel Info has also agreed to put some banners up for us as well. Travel Weekly in the USA has put an article up for our American market. So those trade publications that are helping us get that message out, we're really, really grateful to. They're doing it for us for free. We're not paying them a cent for any of the banners, and that's just amazing. So thank you for that. And then, you've seen my ugly mug on enough of these webinars, which have become a bit of a dirty word. We host loads of webinars, loads of industry webinars telling you about the structured engagement that's happening at a government level. Perhaps you have an idea for a webinar in your community. Maybe you are part of a local tourism association and you think, actually, let's do a webinar with all of the products in the area to talk about I Am Tourism. Or perhaps you have a group of women, you are part of an organization of women who are powerful, and you want someone to speak to them about what's going on in the tourism industry and why women need to be paid attention to in the tourism industry. We can run that as well for you. So we're here. We just need your help to get the message out. And you'll see on the toolkit that we're making it easy for you by giving you the assets, by giving you videos, telling you how you can get involved, showing you the coverage that's happened in media over the last 2 months, just as a result of what this PR and media collective is doing. We're talking hundreds of articles that have been written around tourism because of these women in this collective, which wouldn't have been written if it hadn't been for them. So my eternal thanks to everybody on that PR collective who's lent in and helped, and you know who these women are. Their logos are on the bottom of the traveltoSouthAfrica.org website, and they're doing this for the tourism and travel industry for free. You couldn't pay for the work that these women are doing on your behalf. So as a tourism person, as a travel person, thank you to Les and Gisela and Denise and all of those women who have taken up the baton on our behalf. So we really appreciate it. Les, over to you.
Right. Maybe just then to sort of recap a little bit here is we've spoken about the images. As Natalia said, we're close on the 1500. So please, and really there've been some lovely ones. Get quite emotive about them, just looking at them. Some are handwritten and others are typed. So please send your images to iamtourism.za@gmail.com. And then also, in terms of nominating women, we've touched on that on some of the interviews that Natalia has done. And she's doing them in conjunction with Denise Slubbert as well. Denise, I've known, I hate to say forever, that shows you how long I've been in the industry, but it's phenomenal. It's just what those two girls have done is really, really awesome. So please nominate, please put somebody forward, that you feel deserves that recognition. Please also ensure you're following us if you aren't already, on all our social media. And go into that website. The website is phenomenal. It really, really is. I think for members of the trade, there's a pack of information, there's press releases, there's obviously the videos, and then ditto, we've got the same for the media. So it really, really is great. Send us your news. We've also got quite a few of our team are busy writing pieces, whether it's about community or, sort of the environment. So please send us your news there as well. And then also quite my responsibility too, and quite a few, and I've seen on the Zoom call today, have actually nominated their products. So we're trying to put together, that it's influencers, bloggers, journalists that will come and spend a night at your hotel or game lodge, or even a day's experience, and then the whole idea obviously is that they will actually tag yourselves and also, use our hashtags. So that's creating quite a trend as well. And what was my last question here? And yes, just to continue, to uplift, empower, and support your female colleagues. Yeah, I think we've got something to be proud of, and I'm sure you all do too. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Liz. Yeah. Okay. So sorry, I was just trying to unmute myself and got unstuck. Got unstuck. Okay. So we will send this presentation out to everyone who registered, and you will have access to all of our social media platforms here that you can just click on and have a look. We're on all of them. We are populating them furiously. In fact, it's a beast that I don't even know how we keep up with, because it's literally like 6 or 7 posts a day at this stage. So thank you to all of those people that have sent us and tipped us off and tagged us so that we know that you're posting around I Am Tourism and South Africa's Travel Ready, and we can amplify that message. So enough about us. I'm stopping sharing my screen. Any questions or any comments? If I could ask you to perhaps just, I can't see everybody, so maybe just throw your name in the chat if you wanted to say something, and then unmute yourself.
Yeah. Thank you. I see Elizabeth from Agulhas Heights has already put forward some self-catering cottages. Thank you. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Yeah, the comments. Do all posts with hashtags reach you? Yes, Claire. Yes, so we have a system called Meltwater, which we pay an inordinate amount of money every year to get, unfortunately. And it monitors hashtags for us. So we can pull a report that says exactly who's tweeted, who's put anything on Facebook using those hashtags. So that would be really great if you would just keep tagging us so that we know that you are pushing out that content. Gillian, can you unmute yourself and just give us a little bit of information about the protocols and the app?
So hi everybody, it's really exciting to hear all about all of this, the movement, shall I call it, I Am Tourism, and the Women in Tourism stuff is fantastic. It's really fantastic, so well done. I just wanted to mention the operating protocols for the industry. So for all of you who are operating in the industry at the moment, the Tourism Business Council has done these very comprehensive tourism or COVID safety operating protocols. I hope you've all seen them, if not, they're on the TBCSA website. But the most exciting development is that we are now about to launch an application or an app which operators can download, and it's for free. It'll be launched tomorrow, not tomorrow, it'll be launched on Thursday. We are planning so initially B2B media to inform the industry via the associations about the app. So when you go on the app, what it is a self-regulation process, which is a fairly simple compliance process. You answer a set of questions to say that you are adhering to the protocols, and then you will get a certificate, which is a unique numbered certificate for your establishment or your operation, your activity. And you'll also get the stamp of approval, which is a combination of the World Travel and Tourism Council's Safe Travel stamp and our own, which we call Travel Safe, Eat Safe, Tourism Business Council of South Africa. So what's happened is that the World Travel and Tourism Council has accepted our protocols and given us the safety stamp, their safety stamp, but they've also given us the right to distribute their stamp in South Africa. So now any establishment that wants the WTTC stamp of approval in South Africa gets the TBCSA one, and you automatically get WTTC. Just to give you a bit of background on that, we've done it this way, and it's very comprehensive protocols. They make sure they comply with every direction that's come out from government. I know this, I trawl through directions from Environment Affairs, from Transport, from Tourism, but we've kept it self-regulation as opposed to asking government to put this entire thing into regulations. We don't want that, that would be a horrific mess. Already, you might have noticed, those of you who are involved in what's opening up now, interprovincial, some people are saying, well, open safari vehicles can't happen because we haven't got a direction yet. Well, actually, you don't need a direction to run an open safari vehicle. But so that's why we're trying to keep the regulations out of it and self-regulate. But I would really like to implore you all to, one, also perhaps look at how we incorporate this and get it out there to everybody. And if you're operating an activity or an accommodation establishment, to download the app and to go to and do the self-compliance. The next phase for us will be to try and do B2C communication, because we obviously want a push from the consumer. So the consumer will start to say, I want to travel to a place that's got the stamp of approval. So I know that they're practicing safe COVID practices, because we do know that the consumers are still somewhat scared. They're scared to go to restaurants. And by the way, this applies to restaurants as well. And there's a slightly different application for the restaurant side of the the hospitality business. So just wanted to let you guys know that. Watch the space. I'm sure we actually, Natalia, did you get roped into a meeting tomorrow morning? We said you should maybe rope.
I did. I got roped.
Our meeting tomorrow morning on this.
Yeah.
So we really want to get this out there. We want establishments to be, you know, chomping at the bit to get compliant, to adapt to the protocols, at the same time as we want the consumers to look for them. And it's for consumers, it's to give them trust, it's to help you. They look onerous, but they're not onerous. I spent a long time with the small establishments, with Nicebridge and the Accommodation Association, when we developed the protocols, to say, just take what
hopefully this will be done soon
and do it. They are not too complicated. They're really not. I know it's sort of illegal in theory, but I run 2 Airbnbs and I can manage it, so it's doable. They're not. So that's really all I wanted to say. It's also just to mention that, as well as being for our consumers, making them feel safe coming to stay in our establishments and take up our activities, it's to demonstrate to government that we're doing this properly. So the more we can demonstrate we're doing it well and safely, the more we can keep lobbying and pushing to open more tourism. So it's part of that whole process as well. Thanks, Natalia.
Thanks, Gillian. Awesome. So I'll see you tomorrow morning then, bright and early.
Yep.
Thank you. And so for those that arrived a little bit late, we've gone through our presentation, but we will send a recording of what we've just spoken about, as well as the PowerPoint. But just to recap again, guys, we need these I Am Tourism images. I'm belaboring it, iamtourism.za@gmail.com. Thanks to many of you in the room whose names I recognize. You have nominated some wonderful women for us to interview. Eleanor Tinyiko was great. I'm speaking to Grace on Friday. I'm speaking to Z next week. So please, these women who come from all walks of life, we want to interview them. We want to make sure that their voices are heard. I spoke to Asanda from Kwela this afternoon. She's inspiring. She has such an amazing story. So I don't know about these women unless you tell me about these women. Connect us to them if they are willing to be interviewed. And on our website, you will see how we are using their interviews and how we are amplifying their voice. Any other comments or questions? Okay, then I'll leave it at that. Guys, again, thank you. Oh, I see we have a question, Gillian, around the app. Where will the app be available to download from?
So you will get a link to a website. You have to register on the website, and then it will give you your own personalized link, or for your business that you've registered, to go to the App Store and download the app, and you will already have your business's name in it when you download it. And then you can, depending on how you structure your business, you can have multiple users or one user. It also has, so it's free. And the free component also includes employee tracking. So, you know, you're supposed to, in an establishment, also track your employees' COVID risk status, and then their daily COVID screening, their daily temperature. It enables you to do that on the app as well. And there is a guest element, so that when we have to start doing, well, we do have to do guest tracking as well. It will also do that, but that will be a small premium price of 95 Rand a month. But the website address, which I think the URL is at tourismsa.opusbusiness or something, but I don't have it in the top of my head. But we'll get it out there on Thursday.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Right, everyone, have a fantastic Tuesday evening. It was great to have you in the room. Please get behind this. You guys are behind this. I know you're behind it. I see it everywhere. My whole Facebook feed is I Am Tourism at the moment. So very proud of what you guys have done. Very proud of the PR and Marketing Collective for working so hard to get behind us. And to you guys for keeping the faith and staying strong. We appreciate you. So yeah. Keep supporting us, and we'll keep supporting you. Have a great evening, guys.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, Natalia. Thanks, Leslie.